So yesterday we are discussing about this overall, what you have to make sure in your mind, what things need to be done. Today we will discuss precisely about GS paper 3. And when we talk about GS paper 3, people think about only one subject, that is main subject, that is economy. Fine. Remember that GS paper 3 have good amount of weightage of other subjects also, like science and technology, internal security, and most importantly, other E apart from economy is E, that is environment. Fine. Last year, I'll show the PDF. Last year, they have asked total 65 marks worth environment and ecology. Fine. 65 marks worth environment and ecology. So first reason why people are not able to score. Jaldi aao. Come fast. Open the PDF. 65 marks. What? Environment and ecology. So why people are not able to score in GS paper 3? Fine. Because first of all, you have the wrong perception. Economy is having the highest weightage, true. But you should not consider other as a supplementary. Fine. Others are also having the priority. I have mentioned priority 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you'll see GS paper 3, what we see the GS paper 3, economy, internal security, environment, fine, disaster management. But here it is much better kind of a classification. If you'll see previous year's question, last year question paper, environment and ecology, how much marks? 65 marks. Whereas internal security, 50 marks. Agriculture and food. See, I have put agriculture and food as a separate. Why? I'll tell you. The reason is when it is about economy, most of the time students are focused on the prelims economy. Fine. Prelims economy because it is little bit logical in comparison to, first of all, economy itself, people do not want to read. They feel it is difficult. Number one problem. Economy is difficult. Fine. Number two, something which is difficult to understand. Fine. But it is logical. Something it is difficult to understand, it is logical. So you can apply the logic and you can understand. But something which is logical as well as analytical and you have to write that thing, then it makes more difficult. So this is why if you'll ask student which area you want to study, monetary policy or agriculture, so initially they will say agriculture. Fine. Initially, they will say agriculture because you do not need to understand a lot of concepts, what you have to study in the monetary policy. But once you study the monetary policy and agriculture both, then you will be more aligned to go for monetary policy. Why? Because you have understood the logic of the monetary policy. Agriculture, something is happening. Why it is happening? Why it is not happening? Something which looks rational, but it is not going to be implemented. Government have implemented the economic reforms, agriculture reforms, but that agriculture reforms was not accepted. So internal contradictions are there. So this is why people usually do not give a sufficient attention to certain areas of economy, basically the area which is asked in the mains examination. Throughout the year of the preparation of the economy, people are 90% time focused only on the prelims economy. Mains economy is not in the focus. Fine. This is another reason why people are not able to score. So this is why here you can see that food and agriculture, then economy, science and technology, disaster management, and again I have put what? Infrastructure separately. So infrastructure is something which is not only related to economy. Overall development of a country, socio-political development of the country is also related to infrastructure. Fine. For example, our northeastern area is not having the proper connectivity with the rest of the India. So cultural assimilation, cultural mingleness means people from the northeast coming to this part of the country. From this part of the country, people are going to the other part of the country. For example, if you see the connection between north and south, 30-40 years back. So the connection between north and south are basically focused to one major city, that is Chennai. Majority of the northern people are going to Chennai or Thiruvananthapuram. Gradually, it went to Bangalore and Hyderabad. Now, even the tier 2 city of south and tier 1 city of north, they are having from cross migration from north to south, south to north. Majority of the migration is from north to south. Fine. Because of the good connectivity infrastructure, relatively better facilities in the south in comparison to northern areas. So if you are going to have a proper infrastructure, better facilities, it will also encourages the cross migration from one area to other area. And it will help to develop an Indian identity over regional identity. So infrastructure is something which is not specifically put in the silo of economy only. Fine. Always consider infrastructure as a overall development prospect. So this is why here you can see that how much marks from the infrastructure itself, 30 marks, and economy 35 marks. So from economy they are asking how much, 35 marks, and infrastructure alone is giving how much, 30 marks. So infrastructure is something you should take it lightly or you have to take it very seriously. Very seriously. So this is what insights provide. Usually we consider ki infrastructure is a part of economy syllabus. Fine. But once you know that ki infrastructure is not just a part of economy syllabus, it is having the highest weightage. And food and agriculture, equal weightage to what? Economy. So usually what we have perception in our mind, economy, I'll add all these parts. Fine. If I will add all these parts here, fine. Agriculture, food, economy, and infrastructure. If I will put all these three in one, then I will say that economy is asked of how much marks? 100 marks. So focusing on economy is 100 marks. Going in every direction of the economy. Fine. But if you know that economy is of 100 marks, but out of that, food, agriculture, and infrastructure, these are the three topics which is going to give you how much? 65 marks. So out of 100, 65 marks are coming from three topics. Which topic? Agriculture, food, and infrastructure. So when I will prepare my mains strategy, I will going to be remain focused on these three important areas as much I am going to focus on other areas. So any schemes, any committee, any report, any concept, any current, I am not going to miss if it is related to what? Agriculture, food, and infrastructure. Because it is going to consolidate my prospect in order to get good marks. So if you are going to align your strategy in the better manner in the beginning, it is going to create a better chance for you to score better. Fine. Similarly, like internal security, environment and climate, disaster management, I will take these portion also. Fine. Like I am giving you this GS paper 3 microanalysis, I'll give you all other subjects microanalysis when we are going to about to have a test in our test series. So mentorship is not about just to tell you that this need to be done, this need to be done, this need to be done. Fine. Mentorship also include about to provide you the micro analysis, the deep insight, how to prepare, what to prepare. Lot of resources are there, and I will prefer to give you the freedom from where you want to prepare, where you are comfortable, use your source, because ultimately people will go for it despite multiple times telling them ki do not do this, do this. You will be fall in the peer pressure or peer influence in mathematical induction. Fine. So there is an induced behavior concept. हिंदी में एक बहुत फेमस सेइंग है, खरबूजे को देखकर खरबूजा रंग बदलता है. Fine. The melon is going to change the color. Once the one melon is going to change the color, other melons are also going to change the color in simple way. So what you are going to see in your environment. Fine. Suppose I told you Indian Express and Times of India are the good newspaper to follow. And in fact, Times of India is a very good newspaper. Very good newspaper. because they are covering all those things which without any biasness, and their reporting is very good. They are covering all those matters in the detailed manner. Fine. So very good newspaper. In fact, one of the most underdog newspaper, that is Hindustan Times. Nice reporting, proper analysis, deep insight, and they are going to provide the context also of any information. So they are going to deal in the detailed manner. But majority of the people will not read Hindustan Times. Many of them, maybe they are not aware of the newspaper. Fine. So if I'll insist you to read Hindustan Times, fine, you started reading. Now you are seeing everyone have that TH, the Hindu, the Hindu, the Hindu, the Hindu, the Hindu. Then you feel that ki, might be I'm wrong. Might be I'm wrong, might be I'm doing something wrong. And if you are not able to get the marks, you will put all the blame on which? Me. Sir told me wrong to read what newspaper? Hindustan Times. So this is why even I know certain sources are very good, I hesitate to tell in general. In general, I always hesitate. I never recommend. But same thing is being recommended to one student and he score very good marks. Fine. He score very good marks. Now that person have reached to that student and asked you what sources you have referred. So that person told that ki Hindustan Times. Acha, Hindustan Times is a nice newspaper and he got the success. So that's why Hindustan Times is a good newspaper. Same person came back to me and asked, कि sir, can I refer Hindustan Times? अभी वही पर्सन मेरे से पूछ रहा है कि shall I refer the Hindustan Times? So I will always, भाई आप अपने चॉइस पे देख लो. Whatever source is comfortable for you, read that source, use that source. Make sure it is issued by some authentic source. So there are two authenticity sources. One is government sources. Fine, government sources, or any institution who is issuing that report or something on which you have a trust. And in Ashok Nagar, no need to trust anyone. Fine. यहाँ पे कुछ भी चलता है, कुछ भी, utter nonsense. And I am telling you very convincingly because I have a good experience to highest competitive market in this country, Delhi. Very competitive market. You cannot survive more than 6 months as a coaching institute if you are doing nonsense with the students. वो मुंह पे आपको बोलेगा. Here students have some regard, but there they are very brutal. They will say you on your face कि what nonsense you are doing. आपको मुंह पे बोलेगा क्लास के अंदर. So this is why I know what nonsense is happening. So please use only one source. Whatever source you have, use one source, number one. Number two, have a trust on your teacher, mentor, and your source. Don't run for every source. This one is also good, this one is also good, this one is also good. If you will able to score 55% marks in the UPSC exam, mains paper, you are going to be topper. 100% topper. 55% in mains. Why I'm mentioning 55%? Because I am putting some scope for interview also. Some 50 to 20 marks here and there will be. But if you are able to score 55% in the mains examination, guaranteed you are in top 50. Guaranteed. I can write in the white paper. Because I did this analysis since I was student. What we used to do, we collect the Excel sheet of the selected people. Those who wrote the mains, we was having one source in the UPSC. Not direct source, indirect source. So UPSC maintain all the data. So what optional? Fine. How much marks in the GS? How much marks in the optional? How much marks in the interview? So we get this Excel sheet analysis. Fine. Then that later on that person was caught transferring this data and he was transferred from the that department to other department. So we lost that source. But data analysis is very important. Fine. Relying on the one source is very important. Do not jump for here and there. Even you find that, okay, something is missing in my source, so I will add it rather than change it. So this is one very important aspect. Suppose you are using a book, okay? Economy, Ramesh, Ganesh, Mahesh, Dinesh, lot of books are there, na? So any book you are following, fine, and you found that there are certain things which is missing in this book. Now, usually what happened? You'll start looking for other source because something is missing in this source. If something is missing in this source, then collect that source and add it here rather than going for other source. Whatever source you have, focus on that source. And if something is missing in that source, add. Do not replace. Replacement is going to be very problematic. So, first step, pick the source with proper consultation with a person on whom you trust. Whether that person is good, bad, or exceptional, ugly, whatever, that doesn't matter. If you have a trust on that person, fine, ask that person ki what source I should choose. And if you have a doubt, explicitly tell me your doubt. For example, I'll give the context. Students usually ask me ki which book I should go for it. And primarily they will ask me 3 books. Ramesh Singh, Vivek Singh, and Nitin Singhania. And you know that which source I will prefer. Whereas other teacher may prefer you the other source. So it depends upon your trust. Fine. It depends upon your trust. On whom you have a trust, pick that source. And once you have chosen that source, follow it religiously. If you are missing something in that source, if something is missing that source, add it rather than replace it with the other source. So this is a primary condition for resource management. Fine. So this is the paper analysis. As I said that for environment, ecology, internal security, science and technology, disaster management, we will again go for proper detailed micro analysis from 2013 onwards. Ki how UPSC have asked the question from 2013, how they have changed the course from 2020 post-COVID, how the question paper nature has been changed, what areas are the hotspot area, what areas have faded over the period of time, what areas is getting prominence over the period of time. So that is going to be separate analysis when this subject is going to be lined up in your mentorship schedule. So for me, mentorship is not just to provide you the individual insight. Mentorship is also provide you to understand the game. Fine. So helping you to improve your game, that is one part of the mentorship. When I'm using the word game, means your preparation. So helping you to improve your game, that is one part. But this is also very important to understand how the game works, what the changes are being happening. So we will do this analysis in detail, so don't worry about that. Fine. Similarly, again, I will go for the economy deep analysis before the economy is going to start at the mentorship. Fine. So this is the papers classification of last year papers classification, how they have asked. So this is only out of 2025, but if you'll go for 2024, 2023, 2022, I have a heat map I'll share with you once we are going to start the economy. Fine. Today is a generic session, general session, so I am just going to take entire GS paper 3. When we will go to start the economy test, then I will provide the heat map. Heat map, like आपने मैच देखा होगा क्रिकेट में क्या करते हैं, the batsman is going to score in which area. Fine. So this is the pitch, from which area he is playing in this area, 20% shots, 30% shots. So this is called basically a heat map. So I will create a heat map of all the previous year questions of the economy, in which area, how much they are focusing. So that is before the subject is going to start. So suppose your test is aligned on coming 20th of June. Okay. So your test is aligned on 20th of June. So 10th of June, I will have a session with you. You see, this is how the economy prelims and economy mains comparative analysis for prelims, comparative analysis for mains, I will provide you in the mentorship course. Fine. Here, this is what, this is their paper classification. Now, if we will move to the next slide, what does the examiner actually want? Fine. There is a very popular, don't take it me wrong way. Fine. So social media, even there is a one movie, fine, of Mel Gibson, What Women Want. Fine. What Women Want. And a lot of memes are also being there. So usually when I have a conversation with one person who evaluate the copy in the UPSC, senior professor from Delhi University, and it was an accident. I came to know that he is an evaluator. He do not know that I teach for Civil Services Coaching Institute. He do not know that. Otherwise, I think he is not going to reveal it. But Fortunately for me, unfortunately for him, fine, he explained those things. So I just simply ask you, sir, like, what is a mindset? What is a mindset when you see the copy? When you see the copy, what is your mindset? So he said that when we see the copy first, that was his personal opinion. Fine. But I think because he was having very good experience, he was evaluating the copy in the UPSC for past 8 years. Okay? Past 8 years. So I believe that he is having the good knowledge and what he is going to tell me, all of the experience. And I also cross validated it. Fine. So he said that when we see the answer, first we'll go give a look. We will not evaluate directly. We will give a look how the answer is being presented. So one is a presentable answer, one is non-presentable answer. Presentable answer works in which way? This is your answer copy. Fine. This is your answer copy page. Fine. Fine. Introduction. Heading number 1, heading number 2, heading number 3. You have explained, you have provided the example. You have put the heading, you have explained, you have provided the example. Heading, explained, example. This is presentable answer. Fine. Many people do not have this habit of writing in the straight line. Why? Because they are always writing on the ruled lines. Fine. So when they supposed to write, ये तो तब भी ठीक है. Some copies are like this. One is going in this direction, other is going to this direction, then other is going to this direction. Moving from here and there. राम भरोसे rocket हो गया दीपावली का. Fine. This is bad presentation. Some people are writing in this way. General studies answers are not like this. You should not write in the heading and paragraph format. General studies answer is always heading and points format, bullet points. Fine. Heading, subheading, bullet points. Heading, subheading, bullet points. Heading, subheading, bullet points. Introduction, 2 to 3 lines. Conclusion, 2 to 3 lines. So this is what they are being habitual of when they evaluate the good copies. Fine. So over the period of time, they develop this understanding. A good copy is having this presentation. A good copy is having this presentation. So of course, if you are writing in this way, or this way, so the first impression in their mind will be it is not a good copy. They develop this impression in their mind. So the first presentation, the presentation is very important. If you are going to write an answer, then write it in this format. So, sir, when I have to write on the answer, for example, question is to compare, differentiate. So when the compare and differentiate things will come, people will compare and differentiate in this format. A versus B, comparison. In the exam, this is not a right way of doing a comparison. In exam, heading, subheading, this is, whereas this is like this. However, whereas, so you should write in the bullet points. Do not write in this format. Writing few points here, then writing few points here, and you have given the comparison. Up to board examination, that is good. Fine. To the board examination, that is good. In the UPSC examination, you are not supposed to write in this format. Your answer format should be wide like what? Point number 1, key point, heading. This is like this. However, this is like this. For example, when India calculates its own HDI, fine, developed by the Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog have developed not HDI, Niti Aayog have developed a index to calculate poverty in India. Fine. This year in the prelims, they have asked this question. Fine. So India Niti Aayog have developed its own indicator to calculate the poverty India, multidimensional poverty index and global multidimensional poverty index. So they have asked compare. Fine. They have asked compare. So what you have did, you have mentioned here global MPI, multidimensional poverty index and India's MPI. So you have mentioned the features of this. You have mentioned the features of this. You have not did the comparison. You have just explained the features of both. Comparison means ki compare on the points. It have 10 points and it is having 12 points. So India's MPI is explained in 12 points. Global MPI is in 10 points. You have mentioned the feature, but it is not comparison. You have to provide a reason for it ki why India have chosen additional two things. Mortality rate and bank account, why India have taken these two things as an important factor to have calculation of poverty in India. So आपको बताना पड़ेगा वहां पर. You have to explain it. Just mentioning is not sufficient. They will not give the marks. And then people are crying here कि sir I wrote very good answer. I want re-evaluation. गधे. What re-evaluation? UPSC re-evaluation थोड़ी ना देता है. They will not going to provide the re-evaluation. आप गलती करके आए हो. And this is one of the biggest nonsense, idiotic thing when people blame UPSC. कि सर मैंने तो बहुत अच्छा लिखा था. Might be some biasness with me. तो तुम गधे हो. UPSC is not a biased. अगर biased होता तो एक भी normal लोग select नहीं होते. All bureaucratic people, all influential people, they are going to have their kids in the UPSC. Fine. UPSC is total fair. So if you got less marks or you not got selected, accept it humbly and think about what mistakes you have committed rather than thinking about yourself as a Superman. And UPSC is Thanos. UPSC is Thanos, that's fine. Fine. But you should not think UPSC is doing something biasness against you. Fine. So this is one of the mistake committed by the students. Fine. So UPSC is very fair. UPSC do everything. आप faith करके रखो. ठीक है? Do not indulge in such analysis कि UPSC have did right or UPSC did wrong. You are an aspirant and your job is to answer their question and get the marks and get selected and out of this field. That is your job. UPSC is doing right, wrong, good, bad, ugly. No one should do this as an aspirant. आपका काम है. That is your profession. What is your profession? Prepare well, answer the question, get selected. That's it. If not selected, analyze what mistakes you have committed, work on those mistakes, overcome those mistakes, appear in the exam, get selected and get out. Simple. ठीक है? Be very mechanical. Don't be emotional. Right? So comparison should not be like this. Comparison should be on the particular way. You have to explain it, not just to mention it. What students are doing, they are mentioning the features of one, mentioning the features of others. That is not comparison. Why it is here and why it is not here. So this is called comparison. So comparison answer, mostly students will get very low marks. And they feel that ki I wrote very good answer, so out of 10 I am going to get 5 or 6. Out of 15 I am going to get 5 or 7 or 8. Why? I have mentioned the features. तो आपसे mention करने के लिए थोड़ी ना कहा गया था. They have not asked you to explain. अच्छा, now tell me one thing. आप बताना logically. You have to tell me logically. One question is asking, explain. Explain global MPI and India's MPI. Fine. So what you have did, you have given the introduction and in the points you have mentioned the features of global MPI. You have mentioned the features of India's MPI. Why? Because they're asking to explain. Same thing you have did here. Rather than writing in this format, you have wrote in this format. You have mentioned their feature here and their feature here. So this is not comparison. This is just an explanation. When you write something here and then you will in context you will write ki how it is different from this, 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 then it is called comparison. And for that, write in the points, use the term whereas, however, but, and underline it. Whereas, underline. So in your copy it is visible clearly. So in a very first instance, he will get to know that ki acha, whereas, and key points. So in a very first view, he is able to understand your entire answer. Fine. So this is called the first impression to what? Extract 0.5 extra marks from the examiner. So this is the first way to extract the marks. Again, I will use one Hindi proverb like what we use, आंखों से सुरमा निकाल लेना. Fine. So you are going to take it from the eyes of a person. What? The kajal. सुरमा बोलते हैं उसको. ठीक है कि आंखों से सुरमा निकाल लेते हैं हम. So we are such having a preciseness that we can take it from your eyes and you will not able to know that. So this is the first step to impress the examiner, proper presentation. Fine. Presentation should be exceptional. Handwriting, if bad, fine. Ugly, fine. और next level, खुद लिखे खुदा पढ़े. Fine. आपने लिख दिया है. You wrote. Now only who can decipher? God can decipher. Fine. There are some students who are going to write and even they are not able to read it after write. ठीक है, हुआ है, 2-3 बार हुआ है मेरे साथ. ठीक है, कॉपी आया मेरे पास. मैं कहा भाई ये कॉपी नहीं है, ये हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन का मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट है, मैं नहीं रीड कर सकता. Then I got curiosity. I called the management and I asked कि bring that student. Fine. बुलाओ उसको. आया वो पहले से डिफेंसिव मोड में था. उसको पता था क्यों बुलाया गया उसे. मींस एक्चुअली मैनेजमेंट टोल्ड हिम कि सर इज डिमांडिंग लाइक व्हाई सो बैड हैंडराइटिंग. फाइन. तो सर माय हैंडराइटिंग इज वेरी बैड, आई एम सॉरी, आई विल ट्राई टू इंप्रूव. मैंने कहा वो सब ठीक है, दैट इज फाइन, रीड इट. और वो रीड कर रहा है, वो खुद भी रीड नहीं कर पा रहा है. He is not able to read. So then you cannot expect marks from the UPSC. Right? If handwriting is too bad, you have to work on it. And can the work on the handwriting will work? Yes, you can work and improve your handwriting. I have an evidences. Fine. She's an IRS right now. मैं जिसकी बात कर रहा हूं मैं उसी को बता रहा हूं. That girl is an IRS right now. She was extremely bad handwriting. Literally क्या है वो manuscript था वो. But she worked and gradually she improved. And those people who have a bad handwriting try to create more space between two words. This is the first step to try to present better impression. Fine. इसको handwriting hack बोलते हैं. ठीक है? That is handwriting hack. So for example, some people who want to get a better shape to attend some ceremony or some event or a wedding, something like that, they want to be in better shape. Fine. And you go to the gym and you will ask your instructor, sir, what should I do? I need a good look for next 3-4 months. So instructor is going to too much push on your back. वो बैक पे आपको पुश करने के लिए बोलेगा. Why? Because the wider back is going to hide your belly. Fine. So similarly in answer writing, if your handwriting is bad, then create more space between two words and relatively it is going to look better. Relatively. So this is the first step to gain the confidence about your handwriting if you have bad handwriting. So handwriting should be decent. Exceptional है तो बहुत अच्छा है. ठीक है? If it is exceptional and presentation is good, that is why girls are able to get good marks. ठीक है? Content अंदर अच्छा हो सकता है, but presentation is what? Very good. कॉपी देख के मन खुश हो जाता है, वाह. और तुम लोगों का कॉपी ठीक है पूरा कचरा फैला रखा है. ठीक है, रूम में भी कॉपी में भी. फाइन. सो कॉपी एटलीस्ट ठीक रखो. रूम में कचरा फैला रखा है कोई बात नहीं, चलेगा, बट कॉपी शुड बी नीट एंड क्लीन. सो दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ नॉट समथिंग टू सी. समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंड, दिस इज मेल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक. ठीक है, मेल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक. सो उस मेल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक में मत जाओ कि वी आर लाइक दिस ओनली, वी आर मेल, वी आर लाइक दिस ओनली. यू हैव टू इंप्रूव. आपको प्रेजेंटेशन इंप्रूव करना पड़ेगा. इफ यू वांट टू एक्सट्रैक्ट 0.5 मार्क्स और 1 मार्क्स फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनर, देन यू मस्ट हैव टू इंप्रूव द प्रेजेंटेशन. हैंडराइटिंग, प्रॉपर हेडिंग, पॉइंट्स, एग्जांपल्स. फाइन. दिस नीड टू बी डन. सो दिस इज अबाउट प्रेजेंटेशन. फाइन. नाउ see this question. Distinguish between HDI and IHDI. Fine. With the special reference to India, why this IHDI consider a better indicator of inclusive growth? This is the question of 2025. Fine. In 2025, they have asked this question. Now see, tier 1 of the answer, fine. 8 to 10, that is only for optimistic people. UPSC will not go for 8 to 10. UPSC will go for maximum to maximum 15 marks. They will go for 7 to 8. बहुत exceptional लिख दिया, ठीक है, that particular question. Then they may reach to how much? 10. So that is going to happen only in 1 or 2 questions. On an average, you are going to get maximum 55 to 60% marks in particular overall question paper. So out of 1 to 50, out of 250, maximum marks is going to be 140. 60% के ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. But in particular question, if you have wrote exceptionally well, then maybe you reach to where? 10 marks. Individual question, not all the question, but individual questions you can get, because in all the areas you are not exceptionally good. So some area is good and you have prepared well and that question came, then you may fetch to what? 10 marks. Fine. So how to score first 2 to 4 marks? IHDI is the inequality adjusted HDI. It is a better indicator because it is for account for inequality. This is one presentation. This is second presentation. IHDI is just for the inequality in 3 dimensions. India rank lower on IHDI than HDI because of inequality. Now the tier 3, like see, this is one way of presentation, means introduction. This is second way of introduction. This is third way of introduction. IHDI penalize India's HDI by 26.4%. Here what I have mentioned? Data. Fine. Data came into the picture, and not just raw mentioning of the data. Data is being mentioned and then data is also analyzed. This is one mistake committed by the students. They feel that fill the data. Just data mentioning is not enough. After mentioning the data, you have to provide the insight about that data. Fine. So it is like that you know that police officer, fine, traffic policeman caught you, and you saw that do you know police commissioner, and he's asking I know, do you know? Fine. So data is something like that. Okay, you know the data. Like you are saying to someone I know Virat Kohli. Fine, I know Virat Kohli. Then that person got impression, Arey, he knows the Virat Kohli. But that is not important. What is important? Virat Kohli know you or not? Majority of the people know Virat Kohli. But what matters? Virat Kohli know you or not? So, but first impression will be not. Suppose you are having a conversation with the friend and you said that, bro, I know Virat Kohli. तो यार अरे ये तो विराट कोहली को जानता है. He know the Virat Kohli. अरे भाई, yes, you also know about the Virat Kohli. Fine, he played for the RCB. He married to that lady. Fine, he lives in Mumbai. ये तो सबको पता है. Instagram पे उसके कितने followers हैं. Everyone know that. But Virat Kohli know you. He do not know you. So data is something like that. You mention the data, anyone can mention the data. But after mentioning the data, you have to analyze it. This data represent this. Only then you will go for such marks. So from here, mentioning a definition, not going to reward. Mentioning definition with some analysis, going to reward to some marks. Mentioning definition, data, and you have connected the definition and data and analyze it, then it is going to reward you the higher marks. So what is rewarding answer? What is average answer? What is below average answer? Below average answer is going to start with the definition. Majority of the people are going to start with the definition of HDI and IHDI. Not you are going to get the marks. Some people will compare HDI and IHDI. Some marks will be given. Third person, he have mentioned the definition, he have mentioned the data, and he compared the data of HDI and IHDI, why India's rank is low. Then he started analyzing the reasons for it. So this is going to be the most rewarding strategy. Fine. Now, see, what you usually do. You know what the topic is, you can define it, you can list the features, score 2 to 5. This is the starting point, not an answer. Examiner already know the definition. This is just I have explained. Fine. You can describe the topic with the context, example, policy linkage. You know the scheme, its feature, some data. Scoring range 5 to 9 out of 15. Better, but still not examiner's target. You are describing, not arguing. आपने डिस्क्रिप्शन दे दिया, आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं किया. आर्ग्यूमेंट घर में आर्ग्यूमेंट करते हो? Do you do the argument? Fine. You usually do the argument at your house? Yes or no? You do the argument, but in the lower voice. When you are having an argument with the father, and when you are having the argument with mother, fine. If she's not weaponized, fine. If she's not weaponized, then argument is going to be what? Argument is going to be intensive. See, there are two types of the argument. You are saying the same thing and you are shouting. Loudness in the argument and depth in the argument. So loudness in the argument, you have defined, you have presented the data. That is loudness in the argument. But when you have put the definition, you have presented the data, and definition and data is going to be questioned. This is, but this creates a question. So argumentation is required. Something should be accepted only after its examination. So if you are going to say that I agree with this, why you agree with this? What is the reason for your agreement? If you will not provide the reason for the agreement, you will not get the good marks. You will get a marks, but you have to do what? You take a non-obvious position. Defend it with the specific Indian data, acknowledge the strongest counter argument, and reach the grounded consciousness. So I accepted that this is right. I accepted this is right, and I start building my answer. Fine. I accepted, listen very carefully, okay? I accepted this and I started building my answer on that. I accepted it with the support of data and building my answer. I accepted it only presenting the data, analyzing the data, providing counter arguments that these are having these issues. Despite these issues, this can be accepted as right thing. HDI versus ISDI. MPI, global MPI versus India's MPI. So global MPI have 10 features. India's MPI have 12 features. So if I have to accept India's MPI is better than global MPI, so see the three ways. I have mentioned what India's MPI and what global MPI is. Second case, I have mentioned that India's MPI have 12 indicators, global MPI have 10 indicators. Third, I have mentioned that India's MPI, which is having 12 features, it is better than global MPI because it includes two things. That is bank account and mortality rate. And bank account and mortality rate are very important in the context of economy like India because of this reason, because of this reason, because of this reason. So I do agree. See, for example, you will understand in a better way. See, when they have created 10 indicators in MPI, fine. So 10 indicator, 3, 3, 4. Fine. But each are having weightage of 1/3. Each are having weightage of 1/3. Fine. So 1/3 weightage, 4 indicators. 1/3 weightage, 3 indicator. 1/3 weightage, 3 indicators. But if you are going to add 2 additional, fine. So 3, 4, and 5. Again, weightage is how much? 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. So, okay, you have added 2 additional, but what exactly happened? Here, the 3 indicators have weightage of how much? 1/3. Each indicator have equal weightage. Fine. But here, because you have added additional indicator, the per, for example, here it is A, B, C. So A, B, C have the equal weightage because all three have the weightage of how much? 1/3. Here what happened? You have added what? One more. A, B, C, and D. So what happened? Four indicators are there, but the weightage of A, B, and C is got decreased. Why? Well, because you have added one additional indicator. So this is a criticism of India's MPI. So you need to mention there this is a criticism. Then defend it. Despite additional feature is being mentioned, which have decreased the weightage of these three. Addition of the fourth indicator have decreased the weightage of first three. But the inclusion of D will allow India to calculate the one specific feature like bank account, which are very important in the present context to facilitate various government schemes and its reach to whom? Poor people. So you have criticized, then you have defended. So you explained MPI, you explained India's MPI, you pointed out MPI's feature, you pointed out India's MPI feature, then you went for criticism of India's MPI because of these two additional factors. Then you have defended it. So this is called well-argumented answer. Rather than accepting that India's MPI is good because of this, because of this, because of this. So examiner want whether you are having this ability or not. Fine. Do you have the ability to argument properly or not? If you do not have an ability to argument properly, they will not give you the good marks. You can settle with the marks like out of 250, you can get 100, 110. But if you are expecting to get 130, 140, then this third way is required. So you have to keep this thing in the mind. Data is important, but its analysis is more important. And in fact, if you are trying to mug up the data for the exam, you will be not able to recall the data until unless you have did the proper analysis of the data. तो आपको डेटा एनालिसिस करना पड़ेगा. फाइन. कंप्यूटर साइंस वाला डीएनए, मैथमेटिक्स वाला डीएनए, data in economics that need to be analyzed. So do not try to just recall the data, remember the data. कल भी मैंने आपको बोला था कि if RBI have maintained the same repo rate, reasons. Repo rate is the same, that is one thing. But why RBI have maintained the same repo rate, that need to be analyzed. What is repo rate? That is not important for you. आपको क्लर्क थोड़ी ना बनना है. मैं आपको एक क्राइम सीन का एग्जांपल बताता हूं. क्राइम सीन छोड़ो, यूपीएससी का क्वेश्चन बताता हूं एक. मैं आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड दिस क्वेश्चन मल्टीपल टाइम्स इन माय क्लास. अगेन आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू इन दिस सेशन. In 2012, इंडिया कंडक्टेड द फॉर्मूला 1 रेस. ठीक है, फॉर्मूला 1 रेस फर्स्ट टाइम इंडिया में कंडक्ट हुआ. And it was a big event, and it is considered the most expensive export in the world. Most expensive. Fine. So, and India was going to have first time, and conducting this kind of the Formula 1 race is considered as ki you are at certain league. So it was a prestigious matter for India. Now it's a big event happening first time. Do you think ki competitive exams are not going to ask the question? They are definitely going to ask the question. Fine. Now see what Delhi Police Constable exam they have asked. What is the length of the track? And not in kilometer, just kilometer decimal 2 digit. So 54.54 kilometer, 54.07 kilometer, 55.08 kilometer. So 4 options, and you have to pick the accuracy in decimal 2 digit. Constable question. SSC ka question. Which team won the race? Fine. Another SSC exam. Who was the driver who won the race? Fine. State services exam. Where the race is being conducted. And who was a sponsor and which Indian team participated, and that Indian team was sponsored by which person? ठीक है, स्टेट सर्विसेज के क्वेश्चन। अब यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स आ रहा है एंड एवरीवन इज बकल अप। यूपीएससी इज गोइंग टू आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन 2012 ओल्ड फॉर्मेट, फाइन, ओल्ड फॉर्मेट वाला था, न्यू फॉर्मेट अभी तो आप जो यूज व्हाट फॉर्मेट यू आर हैविंग दैट इज न्यू फॉर्मेट, फाइन। दे हैव नॉट आस्क्ड एनी क्वेश्चन द प्रीलिम्स एंड एवरीवन इज डिसअपॉइंटेड कि अरे यार we have prepared so well and they have not asked any question on that. And that was a time when UPSC asked 2 to 3 questions on the sports, tennis, football, cricket. Every year they ask 2-3 questions. If you see the previous year's question now, you will find that 2 to 3 questions on the sports every year till then 2012. They have not asked. Public got relaxed. Mains happened in the October. And see the question. During the Formula 1 race, there are 8 different type of flags are being shown at the different point of the race. What is the color of the flag and what is their significance? Public is like, galti ho gayi. We have did a mistake. So this is what UPSC want from you. You should not be just an spectator. You should not be a person who is gathering the data. You are not a person who memorize something. They want a person who is having the ability to work as a bureaucrat. They do not want constable. They do not want clerk. They do not want section officer. They want proper bureaucrat. तो वो आपके अंदर होना चाहिए. And what differentiate a bureaucrat from any other government official? The ability to critically analyze particular aspect. So critical analysis ability is the most important ability. And what is a critical analysis ability? You are able to find out what are the good things, what are the bad things, and then on the basis of the analysis of good things and bad things, you are able to make a judgment. Ki I accept it despite this wrong thing, because these wrong things can be overcome over the meritorious issues. So that is why it is better to pick it. Then you are going to recommend the government na ki go ahead for the Nicobar project. Nicobar project is having lot of environmental issues, but government went for it. So do you think that ki government of India political leadership have decided on its own? No, it is recommended by whom? The bureaucratic leadership of India to go ahead with what plan? Nicobar plan. So you know that if you will go ahead with the Nicobar plan, definitely people are going to question it. And this is people's right to question it. And my job is to answer those questions. So agar aapke andar, if you do not have this ability, will you able to do that? No. So this is why it is very important. Fine. Now, 5 traps. Though many of you are not beginner, but I know all of you are beginner. Fine. So I will consider you as a beginner only. First trap is what? Textbook trap. Start with NCERT. Fine. Start with NCERT. Of course, everyone have to start with the NCERT. But why I have mentioned as a textbook trap and mention what? NCERT. Second trap, current affairs. Public is collecting the current affairs. Third, scheme listing trap. Lot of schemes you have mentioned. This is scheme, this is scheme, this is scheme, this is scheme. Then answer writing afterthought. And fifth one is the equal treatment trap. Equal treatment means all these parts of the answer are going to be remain same. Now let's see how to overcome this trap. Then it will be better. First is what? Textbook trap. NCERT for economy will not cover IHDI, care economy, and all those things which UPSC usually ask in the exam. Fine. So NCERT is not going to cover. So how to approach NCERT? Shall I read the NCERT or not? Here's the answer. Use the NCERT as for what? Basic literacy. Fine. Basic literacy. And NCERT should be finished in how many weeks? देखो बड़ा बड़ा लिखा हुआ है. How many weeks? 2 weeks. 14 days. Fortnightly. Your NCERT should be finished. So when you are going to approach any subject's NCERT book, then that NCERT book must be finished in 2 weeks. And that is only just a basic foundation. Fine. And once it is covered, what as I have mentioned, economic survey. So survey is very dangerous. Lot of diagrams are being there, lot of things are being there. But if you will read the survey, and it is available at free. फाइन, एक काम करना, इकोनॉमिक सर्वे डाउनलोड करो आज, फाइन, एंड रीड द चैप्टर नंबर 1. Read the chapter number 1, just read it, fine, and you will find that they have analyzed many things, fine. So economic survey for GS paper 3 is must thing, especially for the mains examination. Those people who want to read the economic survey, the right method for them is, if someone is doing on their own, fine, someone is doing on their own, to first go for NCERT. Fine, go for NCERT book. Once the NCERT book is completed, then you can go for any reference book, Ramesh, Ganesh, Mahesh, Dinesh, whatever you like. If you are my student, you need not to go for these 2 steps, because we are going to cover everything in the classroom. So for the classroom student, class is enough, no NCERT, no reference book, just class notes, then go through what? Economic survey. If you are doing on your own, or you have did your coaching somewhere else, fine, anywhere in the universe, okay, you have did your classes somewhere in your universe, fine, then your notes, first NCERT, your notes, then again go to where? Economic survey. Fine. Economic survey is a must to score good marks in GS paper 3. Again, a disclaimer, this is not a session to score 90 marks. Fine. This session is to target 120 to 130 in the GS paper 3. So for that, economic survey is a must go thing. And do you know that? Not only of 1 year, 2-year economic survey is required. 2-year economic survey is required. So those who are going to appear in 27, they must read economic survey of which year? 25, 26, this year's economic survey, that must be done. And while doing the economic survey, please ignore all those charts and all these things. Focus on the analysis in the economic survey, what they have analyzed in the economic survey. ठीक है, और कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट वालों का समरी अगर पढ़े तो पाप लगेगा. You are going to get a curse properly if you are going to rely only on the compilation. वो utter nonsense है. Compilation आपके लिए नहीं है. Compilation for those people who have read the economic survey and they are going to appear in the mains this year. They do not have a time to read the entire survey again. They can go for the compilation. आपको survey line by line read करना है. You have to read economic survey line by line. Ignore the charts and diagrams, ignore it. But line by line economic survey reading, and if they have mentioned any concept or any idea, get the clarity, write it there only. वहीं पे लिखो. If they have mentioned something ना, carbon border adjustment mechanism, CBMA. So what is carbon border adjustment mechanism? Write it there. Who have initiated, why they have initiated, do it. It will take some time, but that is also going to ensure 110 to 120 marks. ठीक है, तो टाइम लगेगा इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में, एंड दैट इज व्हाई इंटायर प्लान इज ऑफ 6 मंथ. पूरा जो प्लान होगा वो 6 मंथ का प्लान होगा. ठीक है, सो दिस इज हाउ टू गो फॉर एनसीईआरटी. सेकंड थिंग, द करंट अफेयर साइलोस, सेमीकंडक्टर मिशन, फाइन, बट as I mentioned here, for every current event, write the static concept. For every static concept, write the current hook. So semiconductor mission is a static part or dynamic part? Semiconductor mission is a dynamic part or static part? Dynamic part or static part? Semiconductor mission is a dynamism. Fine. Government have initiated the semiconductor mission. So semiconductor mission. But why semiconductor mission? Why semiconductor mission? Huh? अरे बोलो ना, वाई सेमीकंडक्टर मिशन? ऐसे ही मोदी जी को बस घूमने जाना था नॉर्वे, इसलिए उन्होंने सेमीकंडक्टर मिशन स्टार्ट कर दिया. ही स्टार्टेड अ सेमीकंडक्टर मिशन बिकॉज ही वांट टू गो टू डिफरेंट कंट्रीज. देन व्हाट इज द पर्पस? व्हाट? तुम एक तो वहां मत बैठा करो, आगे बैठा करो. क्या मिलता तुम्हें वहां पे उस सीट पे? है पीछे से बोलो, फिर से बोलो, क्या बोला तुमने? To attain self-reliance. Do you think the semiconductor mission is going to give the self-reliance? Huh? Yes, so this is the answer. Supply chain management. So under the supply chain management, government want the freedom, or government, as he said, that self-reliance on the semiconductor manufacturing, because semiconductors are very important aspect of manufacturing, especially high-end manufacturing. Whether you are generating a power plant, conventional power plant, atomic power plant, space, any top level equipment which have the ability to process, they need what? Semiconductor. Fine. And under the supply chain crisis, what world is facing? And certain countries, including China, who are trying to use it as a leverage. Fine. And using the coercive diplomacy against this semiconductor. So that is why government want. So basically, it related to supply chain management of the economy chapter, or you can also relate with the infrastructure. So आपको connect करना पड़ेगा. So what current affairs you have seen, you immediately, so you are reading the newspaper, you find some current news, then at the same time you have to establish a connection with that current, with the static portion. With which static portion I can connect it? Semiconductor. Fine. So they have published a report regarding poverty in India. So you immediately have to establish the connection between whom? The poverty estimation chapter. How the poverty is being estimated. If they have mentioned that some global food chain is going to be established in India, fine. So that is food and agriculture part. Fine. FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, if they have released any report, that report should be related to which chapter? Agriculture and food chapter. Supply chain management, it should be added in the infrastructure. So any current affairs which you are doing, that current affairs must be immediately attached with what? Static concept. So then your current affairs is going to be more relative and relevant. Otherwise, you will forget the current affairs. So current affairs shall be done not in the silos. Current affairs should be done with what? The static portion. Similarly, when you are doing your revision of a static portion, then connect with what? Current. So then you are going to have a comprehensive coverage of the current plus static. So current should have a hook of static. Static should have a hook of current affairs. So both need to establish a coupling. Fine, coupling is required. Decoupling is not going to give it. See, what will happen? You are doing good work, making notes, all these things, but it is not going to pay you the dividend in the number of marks. So well established. See, I will prepare this amount. Fine, but without any connection. This amount of current and this amount of static. But if you are having only this amount of current plus static, but properly knitted, that is going to give you more dividend. वो आपको ज्यादा dividend देगा. And that is why sometimes those people who will study more, they will get less marks. And those who study even less, them, they get a good marks. I do not want to say that if you read less, you will get more marks. You have to read, you have to study more, but in this way, a proper hooking of the current affairs with the static portion. And this is not only for economy, you can apply this method for any portion of your general studies, even your optional also, especially if you have option like political science. Fine. Now, third, fine. Preparation method trap. Fine. Preparation method trap. PLI was launched in 2020, covers 14 sector. It will boost exports. Scheme description, not examination. Most of the students, they will write about the scheme, they will write in this way. This scheme launched in this year, these are the features, and this is for this purpose. Fine. So most of the students, when they will do this PLI, fine, they will mention when it was launched, what the scheme is, for what purpose. But what you need to do is, every answer must have non-obvious position. PLI is directionally correct, but structurally incomplete, because so PLI is good. PLI is good, but PLI is not able to provide the desired outcome, especially for MSME sector. Not able to provide the proper outcome. And in order to get those outcomes, this need to be done. Fine. Whereas if you have mentioned about the PLI scheme, Year, feature, all these things, description you have given. Fine. So description is not enough. Description is not enough. What is required? Structurally, incompleteness, defend it. So see, you have mentioned that thing, then you have provided that this scheme is this feature. Despite this feature, this scheme is not able to provide help and assistance to MSME sector, which is supposed to be desired. Then you have to provide that in order to do this, PLI scheme must incorporate this things. Then that scheme is going to be the best one for overall sector. So you examine the scheme, its feature, and then you have mentioned. So अब आप जब भी notes बनाओगे किसी भी scheme पे, fine. So scheme only its feature is not enough. The shortcomings of the scheme, what schemes is not able to do that. Fine. What are the basic issues in that scheme? So when you are going to any scheme, fine, PM Jan Dhan Yojana, fine, or you are going for Kisan Bima Fasal Yojana, any scheme of the government, it should not be in here only. Scheme should go for its critical examination. What are the good features of the scheme? What scheme is missing? And how that scheme need to be improved. So you can make the notes on the scheme. Fine. And majority of the students, when they are going to make the notes on the scheme, what they do? They will mention the scheme. The scheme. But what you need to add, scheme, what are the good points, what are the negative points, and how to overcome those negative points and ultimately defend that scheme. Okay. Now, I will start writing in month 4 after I have covered the syllabus. By month 4, the skill deficit is 4 months deep. Fine. So some people want to write only when they are fully prepared. Fine. You are not going to be fully prepared. Fine. So shall I write from the day 1? Shall I write from the day 1? Shall I write the answer from day 1? How many of you agree? Shall I write from day 1? आशीर्वाद नहीं देना है. Raise the hand. Day 1. Only few people are agreed for day 1. तुम्हें कब लगता है कब start करना चाहिए? When you have to start the answer writing? Huh? Until unless teacher is going to point the gun towards me, I will not write. Huh? When you will write, if not from the day 1, then what do you think when you have to start writing an answer? Parallel will running class. कल इसको बताया था मैंने class के बाद. Any other view when you have to start the writing answer? When you have to start writing the answer, बोलो ना. अरे, speak up. When you have to start writing an answer. देखो तुम लोग नहीं बोल पाओगे तो मैं ऑनलाइन वालों से पूछूंगा. आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क द ऑनलाइन पीपल एंड आई एम गोइंग टू इग्नोर ऑल ऑफ यू एंड आई विल लुक ओनली ऑन द कैमरा. आई कैन डू दिस. आई कैन रन द एंटायर सेशन कंप्लीटली इग्नोरिंग. हिंदी में बोलते पहचानने से इनकार. PSI. I will completely ignore answer or I will switch to the only online students. I will not consider someone is sitting in my class. Answer. When you have to start writing an answer? Day 1 or when? Some people for day 1. But the correct method is first complete the basic fundamental. Fine. Basic fundamental, 2 weeks of NCERT will give you a good idea. So just read the NCERT. Fine. Again, those who are of my class student, if you remember that in the first few classes, I have given the whole picture of the economy. I have did that? Yes or no? ऐसे करना अगर किसी ने ऐसे किया. No, I did that. I did this because I know that I told you do not read the NCERT, focus on my lectures. So it is my responsibility to give you the holistic picture how economy works in first few lectures, which I always do in my all the batches. So those students who are of my student, after 3-4 classes, they can start writing the answer. they should write the answer. Fine, gradually you will improve. Those who are not the classroom student and they are going for the mentorship program only, then they should build some NCRT knowledge. Fine, class 11th NCRT, not class 12th NCRT, 11th class NCRT, India's economic development. That's it. No microeconomics. India's economic development, and then you gradually start writing along with your textbook. So both approach are incorrect from day one. It is incorrect from that approach after 4 months. That is also incorrect. Now, syllabus listing. 7 themes equally. Student prepare all 7 equally. Environment 65 marks 2025. This is what I have discussed in the beginning when I told you ki every section is what, every section is having its own importance and you should go for this proper weightage distribution. Fine, weightage distribution. So you can see that ki weightage distribution is like this of the last year. So according to weightage distribution, you have to prepare your notes. Fine. So notes preparation should be based on the weightage distribution, not considering every section as equal. Every section have its own pros and cons, and every section should be dealt according to their weightage. Fine. And when I say weightage, this year they have asked 65 marks. Maybe next year they can go for 70 or they can maybe go for 55. But they will not go below 50-55. So that need to be properly addressed. It should not be equivalent to science and technology. Science and technology is coming off how much? 25 marks. Environment and climate, it is coming off 65 marks. So treating environment ecology equal to science and technology, it's going to create a problem for you. So notes making should be focused on the weighted basis. So this is called weighted voting system, where you are going to give the weightage to the particular subject according to its utility. Fine. Now, how to prepare GS3 topic? Fine. Again, for example, IHDI, the inequality adjusted HDI. IHDI adjusts the HDI for within country inequality in each of the 3 dimensions: life expectancy, education, income. Okay, here I have just given an example. Let's take it in brief. Fine. What is it precisely? Why it matters? Then specific evidence that ground argument. You should focus on these aspects. Fine. What is it? Explain it precisely. What is it? For what purpose it is it? Anything. For example, government have launched certain scheme or government have announced certain initiative. Fine. So what initiative is, what scheme is, what government have committed. Then why it matters. So when government have said that they want to carbon neutral, by which year? By which year government of India is targeting to be carbon neutral? 20? 2047, 2070? 2070. So by 2070, government want to be carbon neutral. Carbon neutral means no zero carbon. The carbon we are emitting, the same carbon we are absorbing. So if we are emitting that amount of carbon and we are absorbing the same amount of carbon, we are going to be carbon neutral. So why government want to be carbon neutral? Why year 2070 is being chosen? 2070 तो याद है सबको, but why 2070? Why 2070? Why not 2060? Why not 2080? Why 2070 only? Do you know when government have announced its 2070 target? When? When government have? Check करो बताओ. देख के बताओ मुझे, तुरंत देख के बताओ. When government have chosen this target, which year? कितना टाइम? व्हाट्सएप मैसेज नहीं चेक करने हैं. When? हाँ? COP 26. Which year? 2021. 2021. 2020 plus 2070 minus 2020. How many years? 50 years. Fine. So a developing country like India need 50 years. So आपको ये नहीं लिखना है. You are not going to write 2070 is a target. 2070 target was chosen in 2021 and government have set approximate 50-year timeline for going to be carbon neutral. India is advanced, growing, developing economy, and India do not have a energy security dependent on conventional fuel. And from here, being as a developing country, we need at least 50 years. And still this goal is ambitious. Considering India as a country which is advanced developing economy but do not have its own energy sources. Fine. Now tell me, mentioning of 2070 is going to fetch you the better marks, or mentioning 2070 that is a down the line 50 years precise goal of government of India in order to be carbon neutral. किस पे ज्यादा मार्क्स मिलेगा? सेकंड पे. तो यही नहीं, this is why it matters. So 2070 itself fine, but why 2070? You will able to know that when it was decided 2021 COP 26. Fine. So you have set a 50-year plan roadmap. So rather than writing 2070, if you are going to write in your answer कि government have set 50-year roadmap in order to be carbon neutral, which is going to be extremely challenging for the government of India. But here government of India have took a forward step in order to be carbon neutral and being as a responsible and meaningful contributor for climate change response. So you can build your answer with such good words if you are focusing on why it matters. Have you seen that how answer can be qualitatively improved with just a one insight, and you have completely changed the complexion of your answer? Fine. So small insight, why it matters. Fine. See, all those platforms, fine, they are providing you this. ठीक है, एक बहुत पॉपुलर प्लेटफॉर्म है, फाइन, एंड दे प्रोवाइड यू 365. Fine. And that 365, what it is. So that is okay. But you need to do this work on your own. आपको खुद से करना पड़ेगा. If you are going to rely only on this factor, you can fetch 30-40% marks. But if you want better marks, then this work, why it matters, specific evidences that ground the argument. तो मैंने आपको ग्राउंड बताया कि इंडिया इज अ व्हाट, डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमी. India need to expand its production line. India need to go for better facility for their citizens. US and other developed countries, they are already providing those facilities to their citizens. And India is also having a same right to provide all those good life to their people. And for that, India have a right to develop. And in order to develop, India need to spend a good amount of time in the challenging environment. So this is why you can defend the 50-year plan. After becoming an IFS officer, you are being deployed in the United Nations to defend India on certain position. If you do not have this ability, will you able to defend India? No. And if you have this ability, despite being a young officer, you will be immediately deployed to UN. आपको तुरंत यूएन में डिप्लॉयमेंट मिलेगा. अभी गवर्नमेंट तुरंत भेज देती है. Government is preferring the young bureaucrats who are flamboyant, having good knowledge, sharp skills. Government is deploying them. 2020 बैच के लोग अभी यूएन में हैं. Fine. 2020 batch IFS officer, they are in UN. So good opportunity. You have to develop these skills. Fine. So anything that what it is, then why it matters, and specific evidences that grounds the argument. Argument in favor, argument against. Both kind of the arguments are required. No single one-line argument. No sitting fence. Just presenting positive and negative is not enough. Provide the argument for the negative, provide the argument for positive, and then set the tone. If you want to overcome this, you want to reject this, so what you will do? First, you will provide an argument, favor, against. Then reject the arguments against, and then go for the favor. I reject this because of this, and I favor because of this. So this is called not sitting on fence, not try to balance both things. आपका balance करने का काम नहीं है. आपका काम क्या है? Logically, rationally find out the right thing. Okay? Answer. Fine. Introduction, body with subheading, counterpoints, conclusion plus way forward. Fine. Conclusion plus way forward. See, frame the problem, state the argument. Since the time immemorial, labor has been backbone. So you are writing about the labor issue. Fine. Question is on labor issue. So you have restated the statement. Labor. Whereas India's labor market contradictions, 90% informal workers, 100% formal labor law is what the 4 labor codes attempt to resolve. Fine. A plain introduction. Recently, government have implemented 4 labor laws. And these 4 labor laws is going to help India's labor market. Fine. So an average introduction for the question where they have asked critically evaluate labor laws in India. Fine. In the light of recent implementation of labor laws, critically evaluate. Fine. So you have mentioned that labors are very important for an economy. They are indispensable, and to help them, government have implemented this landmark reforms. आप बहुत खुश होकर लिख रहे हो, landmark भी आपने use कर लिया, labor laws को भी लिख दिया, and you are going to get a good marks. ये मिलेगा. You have to be analytically correct. State the problem. Labor laws came. Why? Why labor laws came? Labor law came not just because of government want it. Labor laws are indispensable. They were introduced because we are having certain problem. We are facing certain issue. So if question is on FRBM, if question is on government scheme, fine. So they are asking about the government scheme. So you should not start with the government scheme for this purpose. Government introduced this scheme in order to address this problem. Kisan Fasal Bima Yojana, because 60-70% times of the crop is going to be destroyed because of extreme weather conditions. So how extreme weather condition in India is creating an income problem for the farmer, and for that purpose government have introduced Kisan Fasal Bima Yojana. So you should not start with your answer कि government have introduced this Kisan Fasal Bima Yojana in this year and this feature. First, let them know कि Fasal Bima Yojana came into the picture because of this issue. What issue? Provide a data. What data? How Kisans or farmers are having a distress because of loss of their income. And the insurance is going to provide some surety for their income. And for that purpose, government have introduced that scheme. The opening of the answer should be problem based. What is the problem? Why that came into the picture? Fine. Next. Body with subheadings. This is what I have already told you in the beginning. Heading, subheading. Subheading means, okay, what are the main features of the scheme? Which kind of the farmers are being targeted? Fine. What is special for small and marginal farmers? What are the still shortcomings? Fine. So everything should be what? In the heading. Counterpoints. Acknowledge the strongest opposite argument. This is one of the biggest weakness while writing an answer. People get little bit hesitant to counter it. Government scheme hai. How I can speak against the government? अरे आप अपोजिशन लीडर थोड़ी ना हो या गवर्नमेंट पार्टी की थोड़ी ना हो, आप वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू प्रोवाइड एन आर्ग्यूमेंट, गिव अ रीजन फॉर इट. इफ यू आर सेइंग दैट कि फसल बीमा योजना इज इनकम्प्लीट, then establish an evidence कि why Fasal Bima Yojana is having this issue. So mention that issue and say that कि Fasal Bima Yojana is being criticized because of this shortcoming. Then this shortcoming can be addressed in this way, and because this shortcoming can be addressed in this way, we can conclude that ki Fasal Bima Yojana is one of the brightest scheme by the government of India to provide income security to whom? Farmers, assurity to the farmers. But such shortcomings of that scheme must be addressed in the time bound manner. Then your answer is going to complete. Introduction, body wise subheading, then counterpoints, and then conclude with what? Way forward. Here I mistakenly I have put conclusion first. Actually, first way forward, then go for what? Conclusion. Fine. So this is how you are going to write it. Fine. Ah, this is going for you. Fine. Week by week, architecture for beginner. Are you beginner? All of you are beginner. Everyone is a beginner. Fine. And this is for entire GS paper. First is paper literacy. Read at least what? GS paper 3 question paper. Identify the themes. Analyze it. So I told you yesterday, do the proper analysis of what? PYQ. Then economy and environment. Agriculture and security, science and technology, infrastructure and disaster management, integration, mocks, and consolidation. Here it is given by me, but if you are comfortable to connect economy and agriculture, fine. Security and science and technology, it is up to you. This is just an illustration. Your integration should be based on your comfort or your lecture plans or your thematic test kind of a thing, but it should be covered in the systematic manner. फाइन, आप सिस्टमेटिक मैनर में कवर करो, हैपेजाइडस मैनर में कवर मत करो कि जीएस पेपर 3 आई एम स्टडिंग and I have allocated 2 months for the GS paper 3. Many of the students, they tell me, sir, I have allocated 45 days, I have allocated 30 days, I have allocated 60 days, I have allocated 60 years. By whatever is your allocation for GS paper 3, that allocation must be further classified. This is my intent with this page. My intent this page is basically what you need to do. You need to subdivide GS3, fine, in the 7 themes. 7 themes में divide करो, fine. 7 themes which I have told you in the beginning, first slide. 7 classification was there. Divide your paper in the 7 themes. Set the target for each themes, fine. Finish it, practice it, and while practicing you will find certain things are missing and consolidate. So actually here, see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 themes are there. Fine. So these 7 themes, what you need to do? Fine. These 7 themes, you should have the, see, all 3 is going to make GS paper 3. Okay. Every theme should be aligned. Every theme should be aligned. 10 days for this theme, 12 days for this theme, 13 days for this theme, 4 days for this theme. In this way, every theme should be what? Every theme should be properly fixed the schedule. Fix the schedule in the 7th theme. Do not say that ki GS paper 3 ke liye 45 days hai. GS paper 3 is in 7 module, and that 7 module wise, each and every module is going to cover in this way. 7 modules. Fine. And once the 7 module is being fixed, जब आपने 7 modules fix कर दिए, when you have fixed the 7 modules, Fine. 7 modules. You have completed those 7 modules. Then integration means now realigned economy, agriculture, all these things you have to put at one place. 7 modules completed. Now one consolidated note and started appearing in what? Test. Start appearing in test. Now when you will appear in the test, what will happen? You will find that certain areas I have did in the very well manner, and in certain areas I am facing this issue. Now you have to work on your consolidation, which you have did earlier. Work on this on the basis of performance evaluation in the test. So test is going to evaluate your performance, and with the performance evaluation in the test, again work on those weak areas in that 7 modules. Fine. 7 modules where you are facing an issue, identify those, work on those, increase your notes, increase the penetration, qualitative improvement on the basis of performance of your mock test. Fine. Then it is going to finally what? Consolidate. So step number 1, start with the NCERT. Fine. 2 weeks NCERT program finished. Then go for your notes. Consolidate static portion with the current portion. How? Divide the entire GS paper 3 in the 7 themes. Allocate the time for each and every theme. Fine. And then prepare your notes in such a meticulous manner on the basis of PYQ analysis. Once it is being done, start giving the test, and those tests is going to be a performance evaluation for you. And on the basis of your performance, what areas are good, what areas are concerning, work on those areas, and that is going to be final notes for your exam, that is called consolidation. Okay? So now, those students who are classroom students, they just started their classes. Shall I go for mentorship? Answer is yes. You can also go for the mentorship. It is not necessarily you can wait and later on you can go for it. Fine. We have our one mentorship program which started just right now. Same mentorship program is going to be launched in next 2 months. Fine. So probably in the August, again, we are going to launch the mentorship program. So you can align your preparation with the mentorship program also. Fine. Mentorship program is going to what benefit you additional? More practice, better insights, person to person interaction, focus on certain aspects. These areas are required. Fine. So this is for the classroom students who have this doubt in their mind whether should I go for the mentorship or not. If you want, you can go for it. We will help you how to plan it. Mentorship along with your ongoing course. Those who have already completed and they are thinking about that, I am convincingly telling you, fine. Mentorship we are going to do in the same manner like I have detailed explained you about the GS paper 3. Every section I am going to take in this way how to go for it. And it is not going to be time constrained. Fine. Until unless my analysis is not going to be over, I will not leave you. And I will ensure that I can give my 100% because I want to sleep at night with the peace. And until unless I have not given everything which I have for you, I will not have a peace. Fine. So my mission is very simple. Fine. Unfortunately, or I will not say unfortunately, because of my mistakes, I was not able to get selected. I committed those mistakes and that is why I failed. Fine. So it is my alter ego. Fine. When I will see you got selected, my ego will be satisfied. So for me, mentorship is not just a mentorship. For me, it is a mission. And my mission is simple, your success. Simple. Fine. So do your exceptional hard work, be it in the discipline, guidance, which we call as a mentorship, we will provide, make you successful. Okay. So thank you for this session. In the mentorship session, I will take economy, internal security. This is all 7 themes. I will go for the macro analysis of each and every section. Okay. Thank you. Online students, if you have any questions, ask very fast, precisely, because we have another class. Wait.
Sir, for student scholarship students please go to for హలో, ఎవరైనా స్కాలర్షిప్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉంటే వాళ్ళ థర్డ్ ఫ్లోర్లోకి వెళ్ళి కూర్చోండి. ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైనా స్కాలర్షిప్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఇక్కడ ఉంటే థర్డ్ ఫ్లోర్లో కూర్చోండి.
Sir, I'm September batch online student mentorship. This shall. Yes. Online is okay. Online is okay. I will take one dedicated session for it. Don't worry. Just give me some time. By this weekend or by next week, definitely I am going to take a session. You can drop your details in the message box. I will ask management to let you know specifically. So don't worry. I will take a session for 2027 beginner for self preparation. Okay. Will this session uploaded in YouTube channel? Yes, it will be uploaded in the YouTube. It will uploaded in the YouTube. All right. So thank you very much. If you have, we will upload this session in the YouTube. If you have any specific query, not right now, but later on, just drop your question in the YouTube comment. I'll address it. Sir, what about accommodation? I do not have any idea about the accommodation, Surya. And I didn't understand what do you mean by accommodation. One more session is tomorrow. Next mentorship program is going to be launched in the August. You can drop your details, fine. So whenever the mentorship program will start, we will inform you. All right. All the online students, thank you very much for being in a session. From August to till then means next year. And interview is already implicit. Anyone who is going to clear the mains, we will provide the interview guidance also. Accommodation facility we do not provide, but if you want, like they will suggest you certain hostels, the management, you can talk to the management directly, they will let you know. Sir, I have not wrote any answer till now. When I see the question, I don't how to proceed. I specifically told that start with the NCRT, finish the NCRT, build your notes, do the PYQ analysis, and start writing. When you will write, only then it will help, na? Start writing. Okay, do not hesitate. You are not able to perform or something like that. Don't worry about this. Just start writing. Vinay, you can join it right now. If any issue, you can reschedule your test, but you can start right now. Don't worry. See, it is going to be by subject experts. And once the copy will be evaluated, for example, there is an evaluator who is going to evaluate your copy of economics. Once the copy will be evaluated, I will oversee the evaluation and your performance, and accordingly, I'll suggest you. So it's a two-layer. Okay, Vinay. I hope I have answered everyone's question. Sir, how to check performance on the online? We can have a phone call. See, copy will be evaluated. Once the copy will be evaluated, fine, copy will be uploaded. Then we can have a Zoom call or we can have a phone call. With that, we can let you know. Don't worry. PSI management told about the 400 pages of workbook. How can they will provide you the PDF? They will provide you the PDF. All right. Thank you very much. I'm winding up the session. If any further query, once the session will be uploaded in the YouTube, you can question there. I'll reply. Okay. Bye-bye.